are the businesses that must remain closed after 4th of April 2020. Lagos State government has listed out businesses that should remain closed even as the state enters the first phase in the gradual easing out of lockdown on May 4th, 2020. In the statement-wide address on Wednesday, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu explained that these businesses will remain closed for another 2 weeks, even during the partial lockdown until contrary directives are given. Below are the sum of the businesses to be affected by this announcement. Entertainment centers are spelled out in the governor's address. Businesses such as event center, cinemas, arcades, bars, and casinos will remain locked for another 2 weeks until another review is done by the state government. Also included in this group are day clubs and nightclubs, beaches, reviewing center, swimming pools, gyms, and all recreation and relaxation center. The reason for this decision is the tendency of these businesses to attract people in large numbers, often beyond 50, thus contravening the physical distancing directives. That is why these businesses mentioned will be closed, will be extended for close down. Second, salons and beauty parlors. Beauty salons, spas, barber shops, and public parks are also by this directive prohibited from opening these businesses from 2 weeks from May 4th. This cut across all of these businesses, including those located in residential and private estates. According to the governor, these businesses will continue to remain closed for another 2 weeks in the instance at which point we will review and advise of the permissible opening rates and dates for this establishment. 3. Suspension of motorcycles, Okadas. In addition to other directives, the state government also suspended all operations of motorcycles, popularly known as Okadas, on all routes in states. The only exceptions to this rule are those used for courier and logistic purposes. Commercial motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, are to suspend their operations statewide, except for those motorcycles used for courier and logistic purposes, Sanwo-Olu declared. Tricycles, keke, are allowed to operate in the areas early designated for their operations, but are not allowed to carry more than 2 passengers on any trip, ensuring that appropriate distance is maintained between the passengers. 4. Federal government directives will also be upheld. In addition to the state directives, declarations made by President Muhammadu Buhari on the Monday nationwide broadcast will also be upheld. Sanwo-Olu added that an implementation committee will be set up to enforce all of the directives, including the federal government directives on overnight curfew and ban on interstate passenger movement. The president had in his address authorized the state government to come up with a specific framework as to how the gradual easing of lockdown would be done in their states based on the peculiarities of the situation. Thank you, viewers, for listening to this news. Viewers, with what Sanwo-Olu has said concerning the businesses that will be locked down in the states and the keke the bike that will also be suspended after 4th of May 2020. Why that? Is that called for? Imagine that. See Tanzania president who refused to lock down during this COVID-19 pandemic and go to mountain to pray, and other Christians to pray for the country. How many deaths recorded? How many deaths recorded? No death recorded in Tanzania. No death at all. You see, nobody can contest with God in anything or in any way. During this time, only God can deliver the country. Now, they're saying all this. What is now the essence of lockdown? Still, people are still dying in Nigeria with this COVID-19 pandemic. I just use Tanzania as an example. No death rate at all. No lockdown. The president urges all Christians to keep praying that this virus doesn't come to anybody. And they kept praying. And nothing of such has happened. A nation that does not bring its nation before Almighty God, that nation can never move forward. Where does Nigeria stand for Juju or Alpha or even God? Nigerians must choose whom they are to serve, God or Juju or Alpha. We have only one supreme God, which is Almighty God, the creator of heaven and earth. The creator of heaven and earth. So God's foolishness is the wisdom of man. That's what they think. God should be merciful to your children and show your leaders that all life are unto your care. All lives are in your care. So Nigerians, they don't believe that God is alive or God exists. That is why they kept they are being scared of this virus. Tanzania, are they not human beings? But no deaths or this virus has not been recorded there because they are very much close to God. If any does not, or if any is not hungry, God shall not forgive this wisdom impaired government of this nation. Everybody are hungry. All Nigerians are hungry. They are dying of hunger, and they are extending lockdown. Imagine that. But it's only God that will save and protect us. They don't even have fear of God at all. Even our governor, Sanwo-Olu, will stand at praising God. They have all sold their souls to the things in the world, and they put God aside. Why did this government have bad leaders and bad governments? Shame on them all that call themselves leaders. Their citizens are dying of hunger, dying of they don't have money to sustain themselves, and they are here enjoying and extending lockdown. They extend lockdown every two weeks, 1 week now, and they are saying they are putting a stop as from 4th of May 2020. All businesses will close for 2 weeks. Imagine that. Okay, now all businesses will close. Does it mean that, or should I ask a question? If all the businesses close down, what will people feed on? How would the citizen, how the masses get things to feed on? Imagine that. These people are not wise at all. They're not wise at all. That's why a lot of people are complaining about this government. Imagine that. Wow. This lockdown should not continue until provisions of food will be given. Until they make provisions of food and money to these masses, then this lockdown can continue. Those that say this lockdown should continue until the vaccine for COVID-19 virus is produced, they are just foolish. because they have money, they are enjoying themselves, they are comfortable, according to what Kemi Olunloyo said, that he doesn't care about what Buhari says about the extending of lockdown. That all she knows is that her and her son are comfortable. So they don't care about Buhari's speech. Imagine that. Those that says that they should continue with this lockdown are wicked people. They don't even have conscience. They don't even reason the poor ones, the poor masses. All they know is themselves and their family alone. Imagine that. Our government, they are heartless for mentioning salon, spa, and all beauty business to remain closed down for 2 weeks. Are they going to be feeding their families? Some that have 3 children, him and his wife, they're making five, earning their living on a salon business. Now, they are saying that they should remain closed. These governments are so wicked. Imagine this. So viewers, that is all I have to say for now. Your own comment is also needed. Drop them below the comment box. Click on the subscribe button as well as the bell button to receive updates. And don't forget, share and like this news.